All right, welcome to day 2 of building walls, day 8 overall. So we started last Saturday. This is the following Saturday. As you can see, Sean and I got that first wall built yesterday. We didn't stand it up, thank goodness, because when we came down this morning, I'll throw a picture in, the tarp that we had put over it, we put rocks and, in fact, I gotta go find that. The little stool, this was completely uncovered this morning. The wind last night was incredible. I mean, it was just nonstop all night long, hurricane force winds. I don't know what it really was, but it was enough to blow all that off and not leave anything on the deck, none of the rocks or anything. So, enough jabbering. What are we doing today? Today we're going to wall number 2 that's easy. So number 1 was the easiest because there's no windows. Number 2 is gonna be the second easiest because we have one window. So we're gonna have, this will be the east, this will be the south window, south wall rather. We're gonna have a bathroom right here in the corner. Then we're gonna have a kitchen, and then the wood burning stove over there is the plan. So we'll go through a little bit of math, waiting on second helper to get here. We're gonna flip-flop out. Sean's got to get back to civilization today, and Tripp is on his way in. So as soon as he gets here, we'll get started. You see, I already pre-positioned some materials. I got my 16-footers laid out. I got my pre-cuts, and once he gets up here, we'll start measuring, get things laid out, get things explained, and go from there. Get yourself something warm to drink, though. It's cold here. It's 32, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 32 degrees, so I know it's cold wherever you are. So get something warm to drink, and then as soon as he gets here, we'll get to laying this thing out. This typically does not happen in Alabama. It's 11:30 in the morning. The sun is shining. Look at that bucket still frozen. Craziness. It's a crazy world we live in. So as you can see, Trippity's arrived. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. We're gonna lay this out, just like I said, we're gonna do 16-inch on center, just like we did before, and then we'll come in for the close-up on how we're gonna lay out that window and what kind of funky math we had to do there to figure out where we're gonna put this window. So let's get to busy. Just like before, we're here, we got our two 16-foot boards. Like I said, we're at the opposite end wall. We got them lined up. So we're gonna come in our 1.5 inch right here for our first stud. We're gonna draw our lines, put our X's, because we know that's where our first stud is gonna go at the end. Then we're gonna go to 16. So remember now, we're looking for red numbers. We got red number 16. We're gonna go back 3/4 of an inch, so right there, and up 3/4 of an inch right there. Draw our lines, X, line, line, X. All right, I'm gonna run down this whole thing and do this real quick, fast, in a hurry. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about the layout of the window. It's time for some math, right, to figure out this window. So we have an 18 by 24 window that we're going to put above the kitchen sink, or above the countertop anyhow. I don't know if it's going to be directly above the sink. We haven't figured that out yet. So essentially what I did here is just drew it out so we could all see what's going on, right? We have 192 inches, which is our 16-foot wall. Starting on the TGO Norma corner where we put that first stud, right? So that's the 24 going that way. Right here on this corner, we're going to subtract 4 inches because we're going to have a wall there. Then we're going to take 72 inches because the bathroom's going to be there. Another 4 inches for that wall, okay? So now we're at what? We're at 80 inches of space that we're not counting towards where we want to center that window. Everybody tracking so far? So that's 80 inches that we're not counting where the center, right? Because if we just say, let's go to the center of this 192 inches, that window's gonna end up way over here. And it's not gonna look right because there's gonna be a wall right here for the bathroom. So we're adding all that up. Now we got 80 inches. So now we're at 112 inches total. But on the other side, we're gonna have minus 4 inches for that wall. And I say 4 inches because whatever sheet material we're gonna put on it, I don't know like I said, if we're gonna do tongue and groove, or if we're gonna do plywood, we're gonna do drywall, who knows, but it'll probably be a 1/2 inch. So we're gonna just call that 4 inches. So that leaves us 108 inches altogether is what we need to find the center of 108 inches. So 108 divided by 2 is what, 56?
54.
54. See, there you go. Tripp's doing the big math. 54 inches. So I gotta see. I already wrote it down and I was wrong. So we got to find 54 inches on the center. So 4 inches in, 54 inches, and that will be where we mark the window. So let me go do that real quick. Okay, so we measured over our 58 inches actually from that end to find the center. So the center window would technically be right here. We're gonna move over a 1/2 inch to right here. For the only reason is because right here is where we already have a stud laid out. We can use that as our jack stud, and then we can put a king stud right beside it. So I'm gonna mark this now J instead of X. So J instead of X, because that's right at the end of 9 inches, right? Which is center of our window, 9 inches on that side and 9 inches on this side. So here, I'm gonna make a mark. I'm gonna write a J for jack stud. Then I'm gonna come over 2.5 inches, right? Is that right? No, that's not right. Inch and a half. Inch and a half. I'm going to make a line, and this is going to be our king stud. Okay, and then another what's that? Inch and a half. Okay, so there's center window. Here's our jack stud, here's our king stud, okay? And this will make more sense later, which one's jack, which one's king and all that. I'm gonna mark it the same on the other side. So we got jack there, and then I'm gonna come over 1.5 inches and mark there. So king stud, all right, and then these will be cripples, and then we'll put another cripple underneath here because it doesn't lay out properly that we should have another cripple. So but this will be our rough opening. So from jack stud to jack stud, 18 inches, that's our rough opening, so we can slide our window right in there. So let's go figure out. Let me do some more math, scratchy math, stubby pencil math, to figure out how tall our cripples are going to be and how tall our jacks are going to be, and how to make that header. We still got to make a header too, so let's do that. As promised, sorry, the generator's got to run, got to do work off grid, love it. We're going to do this header first. So we got this 2x6, right? We have a 18-inch window, so we got to do 1.5 inches on each side, so that's 18 plus 3. So this header will sit on the jack studs, right? The jacks come up right beside the window to flush to the top of the window. So we're gonna do 21 inches. We're gonna mark it right there, 21 inches. Then I'm gonna cut that bad boy. Snug as a bug in the rug. We're going to just use this one as the template for this. So I'll make sure that they're the same. I'm going to flush it up on the ends, flush it up on the sides. Feels nice and tight. There we go. So we got our mark. Crazy. Smooth as butter. There you go. And we'll nail these two together, and there's our header. We have those header boards here tight against each other. Turn the generator off so I didn't have to scream as much. So you see the ends are flush, sides are flush. everybody looks flush. Right there, right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and in a W pattern. So little weak wristed on my part there, but some of it's just because the tank's not on. But you see how I kind of went in a W to help secure it. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. But I'm going to do that after I crank up the generator and the air compressor again, so I'm not having to hammer all these nails in. So we'll just show you when we're done. As you can see, we have it all laid out here, right? So here's our kings, here's our jack, there's our header. Now, granted, on a normal window, if we had a normal size window, that header would be higher and the jacks would be longer. However, we only have a 24-inch tall window. So we're only gonna go up, whatever this is, 68 inches or whatever it is, instead of the full almost 80 inches or 78 inches for a standard size window. So that's where our header is gonna be. And the other thing you might notice, that header is about a ½ of an inch too short, not thick enough. I didn't have ½ inch plywood to cut down to sandwich in between there. So when I nail that to the king, I'm gonna just move it up so it's flush with the face of the king, so the window will sit flush on the outside. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna move this jack over. I'm gonna line this king up right here at the bottom. Again, I crowned these so that the crown is up, so that everything is facing out. So when we put the material on the outside, it'll push it down. So here we go. Three in the king. And I'm going to slide my jack in right beside it. Still sits nice and flush right there. And I'm going to go down along and make sure that my jack and my king stay nice and tight with each other. Helps if you have nails. Golly. Ooh. And then I'll repeat. Well, actually, here, let's just go ahead and nail the king off to the top plate. There you go. Then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Then we'll come back and we'll do this header real quick. All right, so just like I said, I knew this was short. So what I'm gonna do is, as tight as a tick, but I'm gonna set it in there. Try to get it flush with the outside, because then I can always come back and fix the inside. So I'm gonna get that flush right there. This side, and let me get it flush on this side. Just a nail to hold it in place, and then I'm going to just nail the snot out of it. All right, there you go. So now we're gonna measure across, so we're gonna measure down 24 inches and across to get our sill plate, and then we'll measure from there down to get our cripples. Okay, so you see here we marked off our sills, where we want this sill plate to be. So S on each side. We got this buddy Then we're gonna have to hammer it in. I mean, pound it in with the hammer a little first. We got it tight. There we go. And that's nice and flush. So there we go. But I think I'm doing it backwards. I think I want to do my cripples first, nail those in, and then I'll put the sill in, if I can. There we go. All right. So cripple number one, I'm going to put right there. It lines right up at the base of the. Well, I didn't look at my crown. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. That looks better. And then nail gun. So that's right at the base of the sill. So I'm going to nail it in from the bottom first. Nice and flush. Oh, limp wristing it. Go in there. Triple two. So this one actually lines up. If you can see inside here, Trip, that's our 16" on center mark. That's why we did that to begin with. So this one's just going to go there. It's not going to be flush against this cripple that we just nailed in, if that makes any sense. But what I might have to do is put this other guy in first, so I have room for my gun to get in there. So, other side cripple coming in. Now we beat the sill into place. Where this goes, but I think it'll be okay. Well, that was an uncommon misfire by the Freeman. 24, 24, there we go.
Oh,
now we're ready to finish the rest of the wall. All right, so as you see, we got the top cripples cut about 23 inches. So one's just a cripple, and the other one just comes out at our 16" on center. So Trip's gonna go ahead and nail that into place now. Now that he got it beat into place a little bit, it needed some persuading. He's trying to make sure all his lines are lined up. 3 nails each. We'll have to toenail at the bottom because we can't obviously go through the header, but at the top plate he can do 3 nails each. Okay, so that was my fault, the nail malfunction. I forgot to close the slot after I loaded it with nails. So let's try it again. There you go. Now I think that's a finished window. That's a lot of wood to hold up one little 24-inch window, but it's really all about the transfer of the weight from the roof down to the ground to make sure that that window is not carrying that weight and that window is just sitting in there. So now we'll flip it back over to the high-speed stuff, and we're going to throw in the rest of these studs. We'll throw the sheeting on, and hopefully we'll get this wall stood up and get that wall stood up and braced up, and then we can start working on these long walls. we got the wall up. Now we're just checking to make sure. Looking good. Bubba looks good. So that's the east side of this first wall that Sean and I did yesterday. We'll check the middle. That's okay, we're a little, like a 1/16 of a bubble out. We gotta go, the top's gotta come out just a titch, but that's okay. We're close there. And now let's see how we are on this last one trip. Maybe the same. So maybe I need to come out just a titch with this end, come out. So we re-leveled that. This is all flush on the front. Our little blocks here help save us, come pushing it all the way off. So, and I did a little spacer in there because we had that little bit of an overhang there. So what's gonna happen next now is Trip's gonna take that nail gun and he's gonna walk down along the edge right here, and he's gonna put 2 or 3 nails going straight down into the subfloor all the way through that bottom, what is that called? Through the bottom plate. That's it, the bottom plate. So 2, 3 nails in each one, Trippity. Let it fire. Closer up of what I'm talking about over here, right? So what I did is I took these 10-footers, I just put 1 screw in it right there. So when we stand that up, that's gonna work as a dead man, and that'll be our brace on the side, just like we have there. So just 1 screw for now. I'll come back and put a couple more screws in it once we get it level and squared, right? And then you see down that way, I put those little blocks with a little spacer. So this block is going to keep us from pushing off the edge, and then this block, and you see I got just a titch of space. Well, I really don't there. I need to move that down so that this overhang can go right down in there and we're not smashing it up. So let me come back and fix this, then we're going to stand this wall up. And I got the same dead man on the other side, so whoever's on either side. If I'm on one side or Trip's on the other side, then we got something to rest it on, just in case we starts to get heavy or the wind blows or whatever. So let me adjust this block and then we'll stand up the second wall. So there you go. 2 walls up. How about that for some work, huh? 2 days, 2 walls. Now we're just gonna get started on that long back wall. We got 2 windows and 1 door to go back there. So we probably won't get that finished today, but at least if we can start getting it laid out, get the 92 inches up here, I think that'd be a step in the right direction. So. And then we'll probably have to secure these a little better tonight, especially if we have as much wind as we had last night. We'll definitely have to secure these more. Some bracing in the center with some blocking on the deck. But that's it. I mean, golly, who'd have thunk, huh? There you go. All right, we're gonna move some cameras around so we can get started on this back wall and take a little break. Well, there you go. You got it, 2 walls up. Wind's blowing a little bit. Like I said, I'll probably secure those in the center before we're done for the day, but we still got a couple hours of daylight left, and so we're going to start on that back wall. We're going to start getting it laid out. So the windows that I have for that back wall are panes of glass. It's double panes of glass. So I think we're just going to we'll rough out for the door, but I don't think I'm going to rough out for those 2 panes of glass. Sean had the great idea, just let's just come back and we'll kind of retrofit it, if you will, and we'll make it fit later. So I think that's what we're going to do. Either way, we got to start with just laying out our 16s on center, just like we did on both these 2 walls, except this time we're gonna have a little difference on that side, right? Because that's our 24-foot wall minus 3.5 for the for that side, minus 3.5 for that side. So 24 feet minus 7 inches should be 23 feet 5 inches. So something like that. I'm just guessing. But we'll measure it out to make sure. We'll grab a 16-footer and then whatever other size we need, we might just cut it down. Right here we got some, and we'll get to working. So enough of me jabbering. Let's get this thing laid out. All right, so we're laying out that east wall. Like I said, I went ahead and you can see I already did my X's where all my studs go, and then we marked here just kind of generically where we want that door to go. And the door is 37 3/8 inch wide, so we will figure it out on the upper and lower plates here. We'll go 2 inches wider, right? So 39 3/8 is what I'll mark out. So it looks like we're going to have a stud here, and then probably right in here is about where we're going to start the door. So that'll be good. It'll be nice and sturdy all the way across. So I'll measure from here over, like I said, 39 3/8 inches. Mark it out here for our jacks and then our kings. And then I think I might have a little bit of extra, maybe. No, I don't think I do. I was hoping I had some extra half-inch board to cut for that header, but I don't think I have it. So let's get that measured out here. So there you see, we got a jack and king. We got our 37 7/8. Nope, 39 7/8. Jack and king. That one, the jack here just happens to land on our 16 on center, so that works out well. And then our king right there. And then yeah, so let me go get those jacks cut, and we'll start getting this thing put together. So we got our jacks cut, our kings are in place where they're going to go. Well, I haven't nailed them in place yet. And then we got to put together our header, which again is going to be a little skinny, but I think we'll be okay because it's not much lacking at the top. You'll see that we're probably, I don't know how we're going to do cripples up there if we're going to do any at all. So same as before, right? We're going to come down here. I'm going to slide the jack over. So there's my K for my king. I'm getting that lined up right there. So that's all lined up. I'm going to point shoot. I'm going to put the jack right beside it. There we go. Same dealio. Well, towards you, trip and ditch. There we go. Stepping on it good. There we go. Then trip stepping on that. I'm going to come down the side. I'm going to blast a couple on the side. Alright, then we're at the top plate. It's got a little bow to it, doesn't it? Trip, come here, stand on this board for me.
This one?
Yep. Stand on that and see what happens. There we go. That's what I like to see. And then this one. There we go. Alright. Now that side's good and set. I'll nail that in a minute. And that's where it gets tricky because we're on split, right? But that's okay. Once we get this jack and king put together, we'll drop the header in there. Then we'll do some toenails. And then once we put that top plate on, that's really going to make the difference for the stability of this wall. So this, at this point, doesn't even really matter where that's at. All that really matters is I got to get my king lined up again with the K. So jack moves over, king moves in. I got king lined up right there. All right, now we're going to get this tops and bottom plate lined up again here. There we go. How's that looking? A little twisty. All right. So here's our header. Again, I got it. What did I do? What did I do, Trip? What did I do? Screwed something up. I screwed the whole thing up. I forgot to account for the jacks when I measured the gap. So, just wasted those. I might be able to use them on another window, I doubt it, but I need a 43-inch header, not a 39-inch header. Yep. So, let me go cut 43-inch 2x6s, and then we'll come all back, we'll slap them in, and probably call it there for today after we figure out if we're going to cripple that. All right, so we're going to call that a wrap for today, day 8 in the books. Got that wall up, got this wall up, got started on the eastern wall, got the door framed out. We are going to have to come back and do some cripples up on top. We got about a 3-inch gap, so just a couple of short little cripples up there. And then, like I said, I think we're just going to traditionally frame out the rest of it, and we'll come back later and fix it for those panes of glass we have. They're 40, 44, 48. I have to look it up again. I got it written down. And then just square those out. But I'm going to go back and look at another guy that did panes and see how he did his, because it's not like framing out a traditional window. So, thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll be back for one more day to get these walls done. All right, like we talked about, we're going to call it here for a video. So we got those 2 walls up and started on the east wall, the big east wall. You kind of see how to frame out that door now. And there's too much, again, I know I keep saying this, but we're going to keep saying it because we have too much content, which is not a good, not a bad thing, I don't think. I think it's a good thing. If you disagree, leave a comment down below, let me know. But lots of content, and I enjoy doing it. Yeah, it takes a lot longer for me to explain everything and go step by step. But I think it helps other people from the comments that I receive. It helps the people that are helping me, right? So Sean and Trip and Josh, they appreciate it when I'm explaining out loud, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're gonna do next. So, but yeah, let me know what you think. But we're gonna call it there. 2 walls up, 3rd wall started. Lots and lots of work to do, but we're absolutely blessed. We're making tracks, things are coming along. Of course, as you'll see coming up, we're gonna hit some big bumps. We're gonna hit some weather, and we just, you know, got to keep on keeping on. But God has been good to all of us, including you, because you're here watching this video with us. So you must be in a good spot if you can sit back, relax, drink something nice and warm, and watch us build this mini cabin. So thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. Like I always say, we're absolutely blessed to be able to do this. Even more blessed to have you along with us. So if you like this video, hit like. If you like this series, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you know when we post new content. And then of course, look over here. Maybe I'll talk about the pole barn. Maybe I'll throw that video in there. Maybe it'll be something else to do with the mini cabin. Who knows? But either way, absolute blessings to you. Thanks for coming. As always, be safe. We'll see you next time.